Welcome back to Reflections with Emrys. Let's take a moment to see what each symbol has to offer today. Today's symbols are the blackbird, the rune Fehu, and the Beith, also called the birch. The blackbird is often a symbol of mystery, intuition, and the quiet call of the unseen world. It is a bird associated with twilight spaces, those moments between light and dark, between the known and the unknown. In many traditions, the blackbird is the singer of hidden songs, the one who reminds us that there is more beneath the surface of everyday life. The blackbird's song is not always loud or demanding. It is often soft, melodic, and easy to miss if you are rushing. In this way, it represents the voice of intuition, creativity, and inner knowing. It asks us to slow down just enough to hear what is already present inside us. In life, the blackbird tends to appear during times when something subtle is shifting. You may feel a quiet restlessness, a small creative urge, or a sense that something is calling you in a new direction, even if you cannot yet name it. It is not the voice of urgency or pressure. It is the voice of curiosity, of possibility, and of the unknown. The blackbird reminds us that not all guidance comes in the form of loud signs or dramatic events. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet thought, a gentle pull, or a melody that lingers in the background of the day. Its reflection is this: listen for the soft signals. The answers you seek may already be singing quietly within you. Fehu is a rune of wealth, movement, and the flow of resources. In its earliest meaning, Fehu referred to cattle. In ancient times, cattle were not just animals. They were a measure of living wealth. They provided food, clothing, trade, and stability. But unlike gold or coins, cattle were not static. They had to be cared for, moved, and tended. They represented wealth that was alive and always in motion. Because of this, Fehu is less about accumulation and more about flow. It represents energy that moves through our lives, opportunities, ideas, relationships, or resources that come and go. It reminds us that prosperity is not something we simply hold on to. It is something we participate in. In everyday life, Fehu may show up as a new opportunity, a change in direction, or the beginning of a productive cycle. It can be the start of a project, the arrival of helpful support, or even a renewed sense of motivation. It is the spark that gets things moving again. But Fehu also carries a gentle reminder. Just as cattle must be cared for, the things we value require attention and stewardship. Energy that is ignored or hoarded can stagnate. Energy that is respected and allowed to flow tends to grow. Its reflection is this: pay attention to where energy is moving in your life. Follow the current rather than resisting it, and tend to what is beginning to grow. Beith, the birch, is a symbol of new beginnings, renewal, and gentle resilience. The birch is often one of the first trees to grow in open or cleared land. After storms, fires, or human clearing, the birch is among the earliest to return, bringing life back to quiet, empty spaces. Its bark is pale and luminous, and its presence often signals the start of a new cycle. Because of this, the birch is associated with fresh starts, cleansing, and the courage to begin again. It is not the strength of an ancient oak or the endurance of a mountain pine. Instead, it carries a softer, more flexible strength, the strength of renewal. In life, Beith appears during times when we are starting something new. It may be a new chapter, a new habit, a new relationship, or simply a new mindset. It often follows a period of difficulty or clearing, when the old has fallen away and space has opened for something different. The birch does not rush its growth. It simply takes root where it can, reaching upward in its own time. Its reflection is this: every new beginning, no matter how small, carries the promise of quiet strength. When we look at these three symbols together, the blackbird, Fehu, and Beith, a gentle pattern begins to emerge. The blackbird calls us inward, toward intuition and the quiet voice within. Fehu brings movement, energy, and the promise of opportunity. Beith offers a new beginning, a place where growth can take root. Together, they suggest a moment where inner awareness leads to outer movement, and that movement opens the door to a fresh start. It is not a loud or dramatic shift. It is something softer, more natural, and more personal. Perhaps there is an idea you have been quietly considering. Perhaps there is a change you have been sensing, but not yet acting on. Perhaps something small is beginning to stir, like a seed in the soil. The blackbird encourages you to listen to that inner call. Fehu reminds you that energy is ready to move. Beith tells you that it is safe to begin again. The mood of these symbols together is gentle but hopeful. It is the feeling of early morning light, when the world is still quiet, and something new is just beginning to take shape. There is no pressure here, only possibility. Today's reflection is this: sometimes the first step toward growth is simply listening to the quiet song that calls you forward. Thank you for joining me. I'll meet you in the next reflection.